were utilized and otherwise deployed between the governor and the mayor, Governor Andrew Cuomo, at his presser yesterday. Not mentioning the mayor by name per se, but suggesting NYPD didn't do its job on Monday night, but not blaming NYPD, blaming the decisions made by the civilian political leadership on resource allocation.
I don't think I'm not happy with last night, and the police did not do their job last night. But you have 38,000 NYPD. They have protected the city before in these situations. I've seen them do it before. So I know they can do it because I have seen them do it. They did not do it last night. That is true. But I believe in the inherent capacity of the NYPD if managed and if deployed. That's what I think hasn't worked. And that has to be fixed, and it has to be fixed today. Stop the looting. And I do believe the NYPD, well deployed, wouldn't need the National Guard.
Well, what about the NYPD not well deployed?
Right.
Will they need the National Guard? I mean, you had, by the way, you also had this shooting yesterday in Crown Heights that was wildly misreported initially. And the record was corrected by NYPD, but of course I doubt that will win the day. Anyway.
Yeah, what was the first report?
First report, 13-year-old was shot 19 times by NYPD. No context. Fact, that was a story, and it was trending on Twitter immediately. The fact, what actually happened, a 34-year-old allegedly shot someone. Police responding to the shot being caught on one of the security cameras. They respond. They see the shooting victim. He's taken to the hospital. They see the alleged shooter in close proximity to the victim hiding behind a tree with his gun drawn and trained on police. They tell him repeatedly to drop his weapon. He doesn't do it. So then the 10 officers responding to the shooting open fire on him. So yes, 10 officers fired 19 rounds, probably almost simultaneously because they all felt they were
attack.
They faced a lethal threat because you have somebody pointing a gun at you and not acceding to a police order to drop the weapon.
And somebody that had already just shot somebody.
Right.
Because that's why they were there.
So apparently some...
How did that get mixed up between a 33 to 13-year-old?
Apparently some, including some criminal defense attorneys, I saw law professors, believe that a policing and criminal relationship should be like a French duel, where you get to shoot first, and then if you don't kill me, I get to shoot back. I mean, it's the most absurd conversations that are going on, really, the most absurd positions being taken to contextualize and really countenance violence and barbarism. It's rather sickening, to be quite honest. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by a veteran of the NYPD, Bernie Kerik, 40th Police Commissioner of the New York City Police Department, New York Times best-selling author. Bernie Kerik, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what about the seeming disagreement between Governor Cuomo and Mayor DeBlasio with respect to NYPD's performance?
Well, listen, here's the bottom line. They are burning down the city. That is the mayor's responsibility. The mayor is responsible for New York. The mayor is responsible for overseeing the NYPD. The governor is right that they have done it in the past. I've done it. The police commissioners before me have done it. But at the end of the day, it has not been done right over the last week. And I honestly, I don't blame the police department as much as I blame the mayor. The mayor has said he wants the soft touch. The mayor has basically, on numerous occasions now since this thing started, the mayor has, gone after the police department. You had an incident a few nights ago where there was a video footage of a cop that drew his gun on a crowd to move them back from other cops. The mayor said, I want him suspended, and that shouldn't have happened. When in reality, when you extended the video, you see a guy take a boulder, a
right
brick,
to the back
a half
of the head.
a brick,
Yep.
and smash this cop in the back of the head. And the cop that drew his gun was trying to get them away from the other cop, when in fact, he should have shot and killed that guy. That's what he should have done. And the bottom line is the cops are scared to death to use force. They're not using force. They're getting beaten. They're getting pummeled because the mayor and the governor and the attorney general keeps talking about investigating the cops. Why don't they investigate the thugs that are doing this? Why aren't they investigating them? So I blame the mayor for the soft on touch mentality, but I also blame the governor. You know what? You've been watching this for 4 days. 4 days. If the mayor can't do his job, and you said he's not doing the right thing, you've said it consistently every day that it's not going well, well then why aren't you doing your job? Because your job is to get the mayor out of the way, bring somebody in that can do the job and get the job done, because they are burning down the city, and you're allowing it to happen. This is going on to day 5 now or something. You know, I've lost track at this point, but every single night they're terrorizing the city, and the cops are basically being deployed and doing what the mayor wants, and the mayor is a complete failure.
And you have, I mean, this is serious. You have 200 plus New York City police officers who've been injured in the past 5 days. And excuse me, how's the officer doing that was hit by that SUV?
I think he's stable at this point, but some of these photos I can't even watch. I can't even watch the photos and the videos. You know, and I can tell you, as somebody that worked under Rudy Giuliani, this would never happen. We once had a group of people that tried to take the Brooklyn Bridge. There were hundreds, like 700. We locked them all up. Everybody went. They keep talking about peaceful protests. These are not peaceful protests. What's going on in New York City, you have a group of people, maybe 100, 200 people, peacefully protesting. The thugs come in. They basically start with their violence. The second violence starts, the second somebody does something violent, guess what? The protest is over. It's over. Nobody gets to protest when there's violence. Everybody has to get moved. And if you don't move, you get locked up. That's it. You have to instill law and order. And I'm watching this stuff go on around the city. I'm watching this stuff go on around the rest of the country. You have administrators, executives that just, they're scared to death to do their job. You know, many of these cities, like Chicago, many of these cities are under siege right now by the same people that take over their cities in general. You know, last weekend you had 92 people shot in Chicago, 27 dead, according to ABC.
Yeah.
92 shot, 27 dead. You didn't have that many people killed in Baghdad. Really?
I want to.
What do you?
I just want. I want to get to this letter. This is sort of a remarkable letter, at least from my perspective as a layman, as a civilian. The president of the Sergeants Benevolent Association in New York, Ed Mullins, writing to sergeants, "We have no leadership, no direction, and no plan. I know you are being held back and used as pawns. I understand. I'm one of you. I am doing and I will continue to do everything I can to protect you and the people of the city. So I'm asking you to please stay together and stay strong, hold the line, and protect each other." And he just to make sure that the sergeants know he's receiving their text messages, he reprints some of the text messages he's received. These text messages, total nightmare last night. The executives of the NYPD are going to get a member of the service killed. They have no plan set in motion. You have inspectors and chiefs running around the city with no direction. I've been at the riot since the beginning. I've been hit with eggs, bricks, rocks. My officers are depleted, tired, beat up. Our officers and supervisors are getting hurt every night doing their jobs without any support from our PC and mayor. I'm so angry about how this has been handled. It's bringing me to tears with frustration to write it. We have pepper ball guns, tear gas, other anti-criminal riot apparatus such as horses not being deployed. and so on and so forth.
Listen, I've been talking this all week. Where are the horses? Where's the mounted unit? We have the largest mounted unit in the country. For every one horse, it accounts for about 10 to 15 officers. There's no better mechanism to deal with crowds than horses. We have the biggest mounted unit in the country. Where is it? It's not being used. You know why? Because Mayor DeBlasio wants to be soft. He wants a soft touch. Those are his words. We have to have a soft touch. Really? Dude, you don't have a soft touch when they're trying to burn down your entire city. And they're destroying everything in sight. And it's all the same thugs that we have a problem with on a daily basis. And now they've merged on the city. They're being instigated and pushed by this Antifa group, which is it's a domestic terror group. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, calling for the assassination of white families. All this craziness. You know what? Keep letting it go. Keep letting it go, and they're just going to burn down the entire city.
Do you think the New York National Guard should be called in?
Listen, under normal circumstances, if they had the right leadership, New York City has, I think when I was in command, I had 55,000. I had 41,000 uniformed. I think they're down to about 36,000 cops. They should be able to do whatever has to be done in the city. But the bottom line is, if the mayor's not allowing them to do it, then you got to call. Then the governor should have called in the National Guard. He has the ability to do that. The president offered them help. They don't. No, we don't need your help. Really? Take a walk down Madison Avenue. Take a walk down Fifth Avenue. Take a walk through Soho. You don't need his help? I don't know what you're looking at. I'm looking at the rest of the city. It's been demolished. It's been demolished. They need help. They need all the help they can get. And for political reasons, they won't ask for it, this is what's most sickening.
With respect to the riots, this has also been the occasion of big city politicians like ours in Chicago to resuscitate some of the big ideas that came from some of these consent decrees, like the one the Chicago police have voluntarily adopted at the direction of the mayor. And Lightfoot, in her State of the City address yesterday, talked about community teachers to squire police around the neighborhood to introduce them to the neighborhood. Talked about officer wellness programs to help officers deal with trauma on the job, and procedural justice training, which is sort of like half-baked implicit bias training. Are those important reforms in terms of making the police more effective as a law enforcement body?
Those are a joke.
Yeah.
They're a joke. The bottom line is the cops that work those communities, they know the people better than anybody else out there. They know them better than anybody else out there. They don't need teachers to take them around communities to introduce them to the community. They know the community. They know who the good guys are. They know who the bad guys are. You want to do something for the cops? Stop handcuffing them. You want to do something for the cops? Put together a federal task force and stick it in the middle of the south side of Chicago. And let them go find these these crazies that committed 92 shootings and 27 homicides over the weekend. You want to do something for the cops? Do that. You want to do something for the city? Do that. Stop handcuffing the police. Talking about systemic racism, that's a farce. All this systemic racism stuff is completely insane. Because when you look at the national numbers, I want you to think of this for a second. There are 360 million people in this country. 360 million. Last year, the police department arrested about 10 million. Out of 10 million people, during those arrests, the cops were involved in fatal shootings 1,004 times. 1,004 times out of 10 million arrests.
Yeah.
Out of those fatal shootings, 19 white people were unarmed. 19 were shot and killed. 9 were black. 19 were white. 9 were black. If you listen to the national discussion, Cops are slaughtering black men and women every day of the week. That's insane. That's insane. It's not true. It's a lie. And these statistics come from the Washington Post. They come from the FBI uniform crime numbers. I'm not making them up.
No,
These are real statistics.
we've talked about them. I know it. 0.01% police-involved shootings, and then it goes down from there in terms of illegitimate shootings. To your point,
Exactly.
He is Bernie Kerik, 40th Police Commissioner, New York City Police Department, New York Times best-selling author. Bernie Kerik, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
With so many working from home right now, Turnkey IT provides you the peace of mind to keep your business connected with employees and customers to keep productivity high. If you have an immediate need to work remotely,